Why, hello there, random dancer on the internet. My name's Ian.
And my name's Lindsay.
And this is a Ballroom Blitz. Hello, Ballroom Blitzers. Welcome back to the channel. Not so long ago, we did this thing called the Basic Weave in Foxtrot. Today, we are going to be doing the Basic Weave in Modern Waltz. We're going to have a look at the similarities and the differences so you can do an easy 2-for-1 out of these same steps. So as you can see from that demonstration, and if you have seen the Basic Weave Blitz that we did for the Slow Foxtrot, there is a lot of similarities in the steps, basically because they are almost identical. Where do the differences lie? Well, it's basically we're dancing one in Foxtrot, which has some demands of those steps, and today we are dancing them in Modern Waltz, which has a slightly different set of demands on those steps. And this is a good opportunity just to highlight the fact that there is a lot of crossover with steps and ideas in your modern ballroom. We see it in the Latin world as well, where dancers borrow from each other, but then you have to change the execution to suit the style. So probably one of the biggest things that we will work out today is how do you take something that we dance in Foxtrot, which has obviously 4/4 timing and slows and quicks, and how exactly do you put that into a modern waltz where you have a 1-2-3, 3/4 bass where most of the time all of the steps are even. So let's have a look. So we start this figure in the modern waltz in exactly the same way as we do the Slow Foxtrot, with that checking action. If you need to recap that, jump back into the Slow Foxtrot video. Again, link is in the description. But we are going to check backwards, so we have arrived at the same orientation or thereabouts, usually with the leader backing diagonal wall, so I would be dancing this way. I'm going to allow the follow to power forward as they are expecting. I go back on my right foot, check that power, have a nice heel lead forward on step 2. This is very unusual for waltz to take a heel on 2, but this is one of those exceptions. And now I'm going to step out to the side on 3, once again achieving that weave endings critical position. Link in the description for weave endings. So instead of dancing slow, quick, quick as we did in Slow Foxtrot, here we are dancing 1, 2, 3. And out of 2 and into 3, you can start to adopt a little bit more of a waltz-like rise rather than keeping it nice and flat for a foxtrot. So that covers your timing changes and probably the most notable difference between waltz and foxtrot, the rise and fall. So that's the first 3 checking steps. Once we've hit that critical position, we now have what we have described in the weave endings video and what we saw in the Slow Foxtrot version, 4 steps to do the actual weave that ends you in sort of a feathered position. That's fairly foxtrotty. So it might surprise you to know I'm going to do exactly the same 4 steps. This produces a bit of a dilemma. How do you do the 4 steps in modern waltz timing? We're basically going to take 4 slows, but appreciate that the very last one, what we would consider a feather type step in our foxtrot, is actually going to be the power step of whatever you choose to follow this with in your modern waltz. So if I continue with the same steps, we would have 1, 2, 3, and now I have to take this step outside. If I was dancing a foxtrot, we would have our toe step, our feather here. But as I'm dancing a waltz, I'm going to lower at end of 3. I'm going to turn this into a heel step, taken outside of partner and into whatever you choose to follow it with. But just noting that you are still dancing 4 steps. The last step must go outside of your partner, but it's going to be one of whatever comes next. So if we put all of that together, 7 steps in total, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Or if we count it a slightly different way that tracks the bars, it will make a bit more sense with a 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. of whatever you're following the figure with.
Followers, our experience of the basic weave in the waltz is going to be essentially the natural opposite of what Ian just did for the leader's steps. One of the main things that we want to pay attention to, though, because this is a waltz and we're matching that 1, 2, 3, and we've got rise and fall, is that as opposed to our foxtrot, where we really just had that one drive step and then it was sort of toes all the way nice and light through, is that we have a second drive step to do on step 4. So we had the drive on 1, it was checked and brought back against us, but then my step past my partner here, that sort of, we've reached the critical position of the weave. Because this is a waltz weave, I'm going to have a drive step pass. So we want to lower here and take a nice heel, then rise up and then be ready for our partner to take a drive step past. So that inclusion of the drive steps is one of the big differences that we will feel and we need to be ready for when we take this foxtrotty kind of move and put it into our waltz.
So one final thing to note just about adding those heel steps for the followers. You want to make sure that even though we are dancing waltz, and definitely you want to get those heel steps, don't fall into the trap of then thinking you must rise really high through the middle. It is a moving figure. You won't have as much time or ability to skyrocket up into high toes. So keep it a little bit flatter. Take your heels, take your rising steps, but don't overdo it. So if we put that together and note that, you'll see it's flatter than other types of waltz steps with a heel, and then a heel rising and a heel here. So there is still rise and fall. We still want to get those heel steps in because we are doing this in a waltz, but don't take the rise in rise and fall to too much of an extreme. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3, 1. There you have it, the Modern Waltz adaptation of the basic weave. Sometimes referred to as check and basic weave because of course it has those check steps in the front and really adapted from a foxtrot figure. But if we bear in mind those subtle differences and just remember that it has 7 steps ending outside, following on with a drive step outside partner, it's pretty much at its heart the same figure. So smash it into your Modern Waltz and revise the foxtrot videos and smash those into your slow foxtrot as well. Have fun with your weaves. Let us know if you would like us to blitz anything else. And whatever you do, just remember, there are no weaves in Quickstep. We'll see you next time. Well, that's it for today's Blitz, guys and girls. Don't forget to like,
comment,
share,
and subscribe.
Catch you next time.